This is time and place for the City Commission meeting in Huron, South Dakota on December 19th, 2022. Roll call, please.
Smith.
Here.
Weinrich.
Here.
Wright.
Here.
Robish.
Present.
Mayor Harrington.
Here. Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Agenda approval tonight. We have a few additions. Does anybody else from the commission have anything to add? Okay, seeing none. We're going to add 11.1 on the work session. It'll be on the water meter update presentation. We'll add on 12.2 a personnel issue. And then on 12.3 contractual issue. Personnel issue is under, for 12.2 is STCL 125-2 subsection 1. So those are our additions to our agenda tonight.
Motion to approve the agenda is submitted.
Okay, motion to approve the agenda. Commissioner Weinrich, second on that item?
Second.
Second on that item by Commissioner Smith. Okay, roll call vote on the additions.
Smith.
Aye.
Weinrich.
Aye.
Wright.
Aye.
Robish.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. Okay. Public forum. Public comments may be sent during a live meeting broadcast on the city's YouTube channel. The link is listed on the city's website at www.huron.sd.gov. Click on the government and then city commission. In order to use the YouTube chat feature, please create an account with your YouTube Gmail or use your existing accounts. Please state your name and address for the record. Public forum is limited to a maximum of 3 minutes per person. We do have our HR director in the back, Nathan Hofer, who is watching the computer. So if anybody wants to ask a question to us tonight, they can get on the computer and ask Nathan. He'll get the information to us and we'll give you an answer to the best of our ability. Anybody up here have any public forum issues tonight? Yes, Commissioner Smith.
Thank you, Mayor. I would just like to publicly acknowledge our staff through the storm and those that were outside in the elements, anywhere from street crews to water and sewer to emergency crew that was out in the elements and keeping the city cleared and safe and did an outstanding job. Thank you again.
I couldn't have said it better, I don't believe. I was going to, but I couldn't do it any better.
Stole your thunder, sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Along with that, I'd like to add too, I was brought to my attention today that we should probably mention something about people that help their neighbors throughout storms and stuff. Whether it be shoveling their sidewalks or cleaning out their driveways. To some of our people, I get to the point that they need some help to do that, and it doesn't hurt to help your neighbors every now and then. It's kind of the way we do it in here, and so I'd certainly like to have that continue. So with that, anything else on public forum? All right, seeing none, we'll move on. The City Commission adjourns to convene as a Board of Adjustment for the following public hearing. And we'll turn over to our planner, Barry Crancer, to take it from there.
Thank you, Mayor. This is a variance that is in the joint jurisdictional area. The variance filed by Lane Investment Property, address of 1131 through 1161 Lincoln Avenue Southwest, to replat a parcel of land without a frontage on a portion of the lot where code requires that every lot shall have a minimum frontage on a public right-of-way of 100 feet in an area zone B3 General Business District, located again in the joint jurisdictional area. We, the Joint Planning Commission heard this last week and We had no objections, we heard no objections or no opposition to the variance. What this simply does is, and later on in the agenda, you'll see the associated plat that goes with this. We simply we have a requirement that a variance be considered without the front footage along a public right of way when you're in a business zone. She is in the Johnsons are in the process of selling the property, and they'll retain the storage units that are to the west and north along with Mr. Johnson's shop area. And then the mall and the retail center would be sold off to an out-of-town buyer. With that, the Planning Commission, the Joint Planning Commission recommended approval, as did the staff.
Okay. Need a motion on this item?
Move to approve.
Move to approve, Commissioner Bragg. Need a second?
Second?
Second, Commissioner Smith. Any questions on this item from anybody on the commission?
I guess I would.
Yes, Commissioner Robish.
Thank you, Mayor. Mr. Cranston, so if we vote on this now, and it's coming up later, correct?
Correct.
So,
The plat is.
right, I guess, so if we say we're okay with this, and then we have no idea what's going in this plat, then we come back, and if we have a problem with it, then what?
Well, the variance simply allows for the platting.
Oh,
You know,
not
so-
the frontage.
Right, then the variance, because they can't file a plat without the variance, because they don't have the necessary front footage.
Okay,
So that's why it's in the order it is.
okay. All right, thank you
Yep.
for the explanation.
Thanks.
Any other questions or discussions on this item?
This property is in a joint jurisdiction because this has never been annexed into the city.
No, that's correct, it's outside city limits.
Is there any thought with new owners if they're interested in bringing any of that into the
I
city?
have not talked to the new owners. Nobody has expressed an interest in that to date. But that's the limit of my knowledge on that.
Is it kind of a little island there? It'd be nice to start bringing some of that stuff
Yes,
back in.
well, and I wonder if they would be willing, because they do have a liquor license on site, and, you know, and so they pay the state sales tax, but not the city, you know, and some of those things, so it'd be up to the business, I guess.
Sure.
All right, seeing no other discussion on this item, need a roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Weinrich.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Robish.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. Okay. Moving on to the consent agenda. Matters appearing on the consent agenda are expected to be non-controversial and will be acted upon by the commission at one time without discussion.
Point of
Unless
order,
it,
Mr. Mayor, sorry, do we need to reconvene?
yes, we do.
Yes.
Yes, we do. Number 5. Yep. Board of Adjustments, we will adjourn and we will reconvene as a city commission. Thank you, Mr. Bragg. You should have hit me earlier. We're back in session with the city commission, and I'll start over with the consent agenda. Matters appearing on the consent agenda are expected to be non-controversial and will be acted upon by the city commission at one time without discussion unless a member of the commission requests an opportunity to address any given item. Items moved from the consent agenda will be discussed at the beginning of the formal items. Consent agenda for this evening is 6.1, minutes from December 12th, 2022 City Commission meeting. 6.2, fuel quotes for city departments. 6.3, special event on sale alcohol beverage license filed by Top Floor Events for Chamber Mixture on January 10th at Slumberland, 1225 Dakota Avenue South. 6.4, raffle filed by Huron USBC. 6.5, personnel items. Recommend termination of Rick Salvo from the Broadland Creek Pro Shop position. And number 2, recommend hiring Alexa Biggerstaff for one year round part-time library clerk position. 6.6, payment of the bills. Motion to approve.
Move to approve consent.
Second?
Commissioner Smith, motion to approve, second Commissioner Roberts. Entertain a roll call vote on this item.
Smith.
Aye.
Weinrich?
Aye.
Bragg?
Aye.
Robish?
Aye.
Mayor Harrington?
Aye. Now moving on to bid quotes items. I'm going to ask our IT specialist Chad to come up and explain what 7.1 is. Welcome, Chad.
Good evening. This is a first bid or first payment request from Market Technologies for the event center project that we have going on. If you looked at the invoices, you see there's a lot of missing items, some backordered stuff, and some other stuff that is ours to incorporate into the system. But the pay request is for the equipment that's been delivered and installed up to the point of the end of last month, or in November. Right now, the only thing that is left is some programming and a couple of construction projects, I think, and then do a final punch list and walk through to make sure everything's up functioning and operational. But looked through it as best we could. Everything's on the wall and in the ceiling, so it's really hard to say, yeah, it was, no, it wasn't delivered. So I trust them that what they say that we have is what we have. So just ask for approval.
Need a motion to approve?
I would move to approve 7.1.
Commissioner Roberts moves to approve. Need a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Weigris. Any more discussion with Chad on this item? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Weinrich?
Aye.
Bragg?
Aye.
Robish?
Aye.
Mayor Harrington?
Aye. Moving on to 8.1. I am going to call on Pauline to discuss this one.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a public hearing on the special license at the campus center. This has been out. We received no comments and we asked for approval.
Need a motion on this item?
So moved.
Commissioner Weinrich, motion. I need a second.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Smith. Any questions on this item? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Weinrich?
Aye.
Bragg?
Aye.
Robish?
Aye.
Mayor Harrington?
Aye. Moving on to 8.2, we'll call, once again, we'll call on our planner, Barry Cranston.
Thank you, Mayor. As discussed briefly prior, this is the plat that went with the variance. The only thing when we looked at this plat that we required of the owner was that they provide an access easement all the way around the building so that people could access the west storage units and utilize the space between the retail stores and the storage units to access their front doors of those units. So, and they did that without any opposition. So with that, we recommend approval.
Need a motion?
Move to approve.
Commissioner Smith, need a second on this item.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Bragg. Any discussion on this item? Seeing none, entertain a roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Weinrich?
Aye.
Bragg?
Aye.
Robish?
Aye.
Mayor Harrington?
Aye. Moving on, 8.3. Barry, once again, I'm calling on you.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. This is a request by Arthur and Janet Seeler to release the restrictive covenant for the lot addressed as 1945 Indiana Southeast and authorize the mayor to sign. This, several years ago, when they built these houses, there was an easement between the two houses. And so what we did is we had a stipulation in order to allow for the house to the north to be built. There was a stipulation put in place that a covenant be added for the smaller lot to be added to the Sealer's lot. You'll see later on in the agenda, in the next item, that the son-in-law and daughter are asking that a plat be approved that would take that small lot that you're going to release in this covenant, or that you're considering releasing to the covenant, and they're gonna replat it into this other lot, so the easement area will then go away. So, with that, we'd recommend approval of the release.
Need a motion to approve?
Move to approve the plat.
Okay, Commissioner Robish moves to approve.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Bragg. Any more discussion on this item?
Barry?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. There's no utilities in there that?
No.
Just for the building?
It was just where the lot didn't qualify originally. However, on the west side of these houses, there is some utilities, and so that was why we put it in originally.
Gotcha, thank you.
Yes, Mr. Smith.
Mayor, due to conflict of interest, I'll be recusing from the vote.
Okay. So noted.
Mr. Mayor, I will be the same.
So noted, okay? With that, any other discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Smith,
Recuse?
Weinreich,
Recused?
Bragg,
Aye.
Robish.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. Check. Moving on to 8.4, Barry.
Yep. Thank you, Mayor. This, again, is the plat, the follow-along plat that went with the covenant release. This actually plats that easement into a final lot, and this would permanently resolve the covenant issue, so it would always go with the lot directly to the south of where the previous lot in question was. Recommend approval.
Need a motion on 8.4?
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved to approve by Commissioner Bragg, and we have a second by Commissioner Robish. Any discussion on this item? Roll call vote, please.
Smith,
Recuse?
Weinreich,
Recused?
Bragg,
Aye.
Robish.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. Okay, now we're moving on to 8.5, Barry.
Yes, this is a plat that was filed by Dale and Nancy Behrens. They are, Dale and Nancy Behrens own a business over on 2nd and Kansas, in the northeast side of the intersection there, what was formerly a transmission business. And so they are in the process of platting off the commercial area. One of the things that we required of them is that they actually sign a covenant and added language to the plat that required the remaining private shop area that is adjacent to the alley, it faces to the alley. We required a covenant from the Barons to a small lot on 2nd Street so that it could be addressed if there was ever a future business that wanted to go into that area. And so, because we can't address to an alley address. So with that, they were happy to do that. We've had the plat amended so that we could move ahead, and with that, we recommended approval.
Move to approve.
Commissioner Bragg moves to approve. Need a second?
Second.
Second on 8.5, Commissioner Weivers. No further discussion? Roll call vote.
Could I?
Yes,
So,
sure.
Barry, just looking at this, does this have what was in our packet, does this show the amended version?
Yes,
Is it-
the lot that is being attached, the shop, lot 1 is the shop area.
Right.
And that will be attached to the small lot that is just on the east side of the alley on 2nd Street there.
Okay, so that lot.
That
50
small
and-
lot.
Right, okay.
But they could put in a mailbox or something so that they could address it, should they want to use that in the future, down the road when maybe Mr. Behrens or the family member wants to sell it.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate the clarification.
No further questions, thank you. Roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Weinreich.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Robish.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. Okay. Moving on to 8.6, I'm going to call on our financial director, Paul Lynn, to go over this item for us.
Thank you, Mayor. This is our annual agreement with Northeast Council Local Governments. They do a lot of our grant administration and grant writing for us. The increase is about $150. No comments, nothing from Beagle County. We ask for approval.
Need a motion?
Move to approve 8.6.
Okay. Move to approve Commissioner Weinrich. Need a second?
Second.
Second, Commissioner Robish. Any questions on this item? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Weinreich.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Robish.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. All right, 8.7, Pauline, you're up again.
Okay. This is our first renewal of the cannabis dispensary license. No issues, with actually either one of them. We did have to do a background check on the Humphreys. They had an employee, so that was it. Otherwise, everything's in place. The chief and the police department were all right with the background checks. We've heard no comments, and we ask for your approval.
Okay. Motion to approve 8.7.
Move to approve.
To approve, need a second?
Second.
Second, Commissioner Weinrich. Okay. Any discussion on this 8.7 item?
I have a question, Mayor.
Yes, Commissioner Smith.
Do the applicants then have to get renewed through the state as well? So it's a dual,
Yeah, the renewal with the state is on their annual fee, like, so it's either, the earliest one is March and then July is the next one. So, yeah, so we have to kind of keep track of that too, because we have to have a copy of that issuance.
so the state is based on their fiscal year of operation, ours is on the calendar year.
Right, we renewed like we do with liquor.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other more discussion on this item? Okay, seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Weinreich.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Robish.
Aye.
Mayor Mayor Harrington.
Aye. Okay, moving on to 8.8, Pauline, you're up again.
Yeah, same thing, no new employees or anything, renewal was smooth. The police department had done background checks again, no issues. We asked for approval.
Okay. Need a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Commissioner Smith, motion to approve. Need a motion to
Second.
second. It would be Commissioner Bragg on 8.8. Any other discussion on this item?
Mayor, I have a
Yes, yes.
more of a point of
Smith.
clarification. Thank you. On the application, they list the physical address of the establishment as Sioux Falls. Should that not be Huron? An improper street address?
So there's a legal for their Sioux Falls, and there's a business establishment license that has Huron.
I see that's listed as Brookings as the establishment for the legal business name, or as Brandon, excuse me.
Correct. That's a legal business name, I'm assuming for Dakota Herb.
They haven't changed locations though, so.
No. Well, I guess the establishment legal business name is Dakota Herb LLC, but it lists the physical address. Should it not be the physical
Should be the
address of
physical
the
address.
establishment?
It should be the establishment locally.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, we can, if you want to vote or change that, you could do that contingent upon the correct address.
I would amend my motion on that. Pending the correction of legal.
I did add, same thing for the second.
Okay. We need a roll call.
Roll call vote.
I have one more question. Did you, Pauline, just for clarification, did you say no new employees or no employees?
One establishment had one new employee that we had to do another background check on.
I didn't know if you said no employees or no new employees.
The one didn't have any employees earlier, they do have one now.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Weinreich.
Aye.
Craig.
Aye.
Robish.
Nay.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. That passes. Moving on to 9.1. Pauline, that's you again.
So we've been working on the rates resolution. Most things are pretty easy to go through. We did normal 4% kind of cost of living. We did do water and sewer based on our rate study. So water was at 4% and sewer is at 7.7. During the budget process, we talked about solid waste and having to meet our debt service requirement. So we ran some quick numbers. Our debt service payment, if we borrow $6 million, we're not sure of an interest rate, we haven't really been purchasing that yet. It's gonna be over $300,000. So we adjusted in the budget 11% for residential. That gives us about half of it. The other half is gonna come from the commercial side, which Dale has been looking at for a year now. So some of those are anywhere from 11% to 30%. So we just reviewed it again today. There's a couple new changes. It's actually in the business type on page 2. I don't know if you guys have the changes in there, but some of them on the, when you get to the smaller containers, we went a little bit less percentage because a lot of them can get by with 1 or 2 instead of having a dumpster, which is more expensive to do. So we changed that. Other than that, you know, I'm trying to think here now, I've been working solid waste numbers all day. The animal control, we talked with Kim Rigger and her group out there. Those rates haven't been changed since 2012. So she upped everything $5. We did adjust like our permanent beer garden to $100 from $50. We don't have a lot of those, but just the cost of living golf cart went from $10 to $20. The marriage ceremony, $50 to $75, things like that. Trunk line fees, we're already way behind of what it costs to put that in, so it's at $55. Talked to the guys, most of our equipment systems have been looked at the last few years and feel that those are good the same. And then again, any other water and sewer ones were based on the rate study that we did in 2018. So look it over, if you see something weird, let me know. Otherwise, we ask for your approval.
Need a motion to approve the rate study?
Move to accept the recommendation.
Okay. Mr. Gregg moves to accept the recommendation. Need a second?
Second?
Second, Commissioner Smith. Now, any questions on this item?
I'll make one quick comment, just since we did make the changes to the solid waste. The reason that we took more from the commercial side is we know competitively the only other option is Waste Management, and they've had some significant cost increases. And so even with the increases that we took, we're still a considerable savings over the only other competitor. So we still feel like we offer a good value, but that was helpful. That way we didn't have to raise the rates as much for the individuals on the garbage roll. So.
Any other questions or comments on this item? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Weinreich.
Aye.
Craig.
Aye.
Robish.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. 10.1. Those people here.
Yes. Robish.
All right, departmental items, 10.1, presentation of the independent auditor's report and financial statement for the year end December 31st, 2021, and we have people in front of us.
Hello, my name
Yeah,
is Rebecca from ELO, with Jessica.
Okay, welcome.
And I think you guys have draft copies of your audit report in here. There is a couple more, we have one more level of review at our firm that it's gonna go through, and the Department of Legislative Audit needs to see it. once it clears that, we can get you a final copy, and it'll go to the federal government, because you had a single audit this year with the amount of federal dollars that you spent. Just when I'll go through this kind of briefly. On our table of contents, if I point out pages like 1 through 9, that's actually the part that comes from us. Everything behind that is all from Pauline's records that she gave us to audit. It's not just one report that we give you. Some have opinions, some don't, so I'm just gonna kinda, I don't wanna say dumb it down, but that's kinda what I'm gonna do, and see if you have any questions after that. And if you'll know, we don't have a date in here yet, and that's why, because it's still in the draft format. The first report that starts on page 1, this is because you're a government. We take a look at your internal control over your financial reporting and compliance. We're not issuing an opinion on this, but we take a look at your internal controls, make sure they're working. If we had problems, we would be listing them, if there were any deficiencies or we didn't think there was enough staff. That was not the case. We don't have anything listed like that in here. The second report is the internal control over the major programs. This is what we call the single audit or the uniform guidance part. It's kind of the same as the regular internal controls, but it's specific to the federal programs that we picked to dig deep into an audit. Again, we didn't find any problems with that internal control wise or any compliance components of the programs we picked as major. On page 6, that kind of re-summarizes all these reports. You can see that we don't have material weaknesses, significant deficiencies over the financial statements or the federal awards. Our opinions are unmodified. That's the best opinion you can get. If it wasn't, we may have a disclaimer or something worse. That's not the case here, so good news for you guys. We list the programs that we did audit as major. Right there, the federal government will know that's the ones we picked and that we didn't have any findings listed on that. And the last report we do, it starts on page 7, is over the financial statements. This is the one that actually gives an opinion, saying that nothing's materially misstated after we looked at everything and checked everything out. We could be here a lot longer if I read all the pages to you, but feel free to reach out with any questions that you have. I know we're new to you guys this year, so if there's anything that looks presented different, the new wordage, just let us know. Okay?
Do you have any questions for these?
Just gonna make a quick comment. One of the things
Sure.
we do at the end is the management discussion and analysis, was kind of the next 9 pages in the report. It kind of sums up everything of the reports. It's kind of a good read if you're interested.
All right, we good? We're good? All right, thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you.
That was painless.
Yes. I need a motion to accept.
Yeah. Need a motion?
Move to accept the audit report.
Second.
Commissioner Smith moves to accept the auditor's report, and second by Commissioner Bragg. Roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Wainwright.
Aye.
Gregg.
Aye.
Wolfish.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. Okay, up next, Commissioner Bragg is going to talk to us about the solid waste department holiday schedule.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First of all, I'd like to say appreciation to the solid waste team for working in the weather. Again, as Brian stated, it's been a challenge for those folks to get out there, and also appreciate they did have to rework a couple of schedules, so thanks to residents for being willing to work with us there, and looking ahead, that may be something we have to deal with again. So please be patient if the weather doesn't allow the crews to get out there. But a couple we do know about for sure will be the solid waste department will be closed on Saturday, December 24th and Monday, December 26th for the Christmas holiday weekend. And of course, Christmas, we're always closed. Monday's garbage and recycling routes will be on Wednesday, December 28th. please place your containers out Tuesday evening as trucks will not be rerouted. Friendly reminders, we're talking about Christmas time. Once again, just want to let folks know that any kind of Christmas wrapping paper, gift bags, tissue paper, plastic bags, all that kind of stuff is not recyclable. So please put that in your regular brown container and not into the blue and yellow recycling container. Also looking ahead to the New Year holiday, Solid Waste Department will be closed on Monday, January 2nd for the New Year's weekend. Monday's garbage and recycling routes will be collected on Wednesday, January 4th of 2023. Again, please place your containers out Tuesday evening as the trucks will not be rerouted. For weather pickup and for Christmas and for New Year's, please don't hesitate to contact the Solid Waste Department at 605-353-8542. Thanks and have wonderful holidays.
All right, thanks, Commissioner Gregg. Appreciate that. Up next, announcement, the city offices will be closed and the city commission will not meet on the following days. December 26th to observe Christmas and January 2nd to observe New Year's Eve. Along with that, 10.4 announcement, the city commission will hold a special meeting at noon on Friday, December 30th to take care of the year-end items. So with that, we will be going into our work session at this time.
Karen.
Yeah, and I'm going to ask Rob to